My mom screamed at me at my graduation ceremony, "You're just a pretty face who got lucky." I had just earned my PhD in astrophysics. "Everyone knows you cheated," she added, loud enough for my professors to hear. My dean whispered, "Let her talk. This is about to be legendary." Part 1. It was a warm spring morning in Albuquerque, and the sun was just beginning to set as the University of New Mexico's commencement ceremony was about to begin. The grand hall was filled with a hum of excitement, the low buzz of conversations as the faculty and hundreds of graduates prepared to walk the stage. People were beaming with pride as they sat in their freshly pressed gowns, the air thick with a sense of accomplishment. For most of us, this was the culmination of years of sacrifice, hard work, and relentless studying. For me, it was something more. I had earned a PhD in astrophysics after years of late nights spent staring at equations that felt like they could tear your brain apart, of sacrificing weekends and holidays to stay in the lab, of pushing myself to the absolute limit. I had finally made it. I had proved that I could be more than just the pretty face people expected me to be, more than the person my family thought would never amount to anything. But, of course, there was my mother, Camilla. My relationship with her has always been complicated. Growing up, I was constantly reminded by her that I wasn't as capable as the other kids. While she would lavish praise on my siblings for their athleticism or musical talents, I felt like the one thing she could never fully accept was that I had a mind capable of extraordinary achievements. She dismissed my academic accomplishments as luck or, worse, assumed that I must have gotten help from professors or other students. Her favorite line was always, "You're just a pretty face who got lucky." It stung, and it always had. I never fully understood why she couldn't see me for who I was, for what I had worked so hard to become. Maybe it was her own insecurities or fears that had been passed down to me, but it hurt every time she implied that my hard work wasn't real. Yet, despite everything, I craved her approval. I kept hoping that one day she would look at me and be truly proud. That day was supposed to be today. As I sat in the sea of graduates, adjusting the tassel on my cap, I tried to focus on the moment. I tried to push my nerves aside, knowing that all of my professors, classmates, and even strangers in the audience could see my achievement for what it was, a genuine accomplishment. But there, in the front row, sitting next to my father, was my mother. Her arms were crossed, her face a mask of indifference, and I could feel the familiar sting of her unspoken judgment, even from where I was sitting. When my name was called to walk across the stage, I stood up, my legs shaking slightly. I could hear the faint applause from my classmates and professors as I walked to the podium. Dr. Patricia Sims, my advisor, handed me my diploma with a smile. She was the one who had believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself, and in that moment, I could feel her pride and support wash over me. But my mother, I could feel her eyes boring into my back. I couldn't look at her, I couldn't risk it. As I returned to my seat, I heard a faint murmur from her direction. It was hard to make out exactly what she said, but I could catch a few words: lucky, don't deserve it. That sinking feeling in my stomach returned, and I had to swallow back the wave of emotion threatening to overtake me. The ceremony continued, and more names were called. I tried to shake off my mother's presence, focusing on the speeches and the applause for the other graduates. But as we neared the final few names, the tension in the room began to shift. My mother was growing restless, and I could feel it in the air. Then, just as the applause for another graduate died down, it happened. In an instant, my world seemed to stop. My mom stood up. No, she lunged up, her voice cutting through the applause like a blade. "Everyone knows you cheated," she screamed, her voice echoing through the hall. "You're just a pretty face who got lucky. You don't deserve that degree." The words hung in the air like